It can be hard when you just
right? You're
like,
supposed to.
yeah.
The big thing is to get the people. I love trying to do it, right? Yeah.
I like doing something, you know, and the construction.
You can pull it here.
Guys, I'm going to be moving this in a second. Yeah, sorry.
We don't know what it is.
You looked over from yesterday.
Oh, I forgot there was a second layer.
Oh, yeah. I just feel like it's always
Over and over and over. I usually just look at some other ones to get me started.
Yeah, so.
Emotions are a form of flattery. It's true.
Yeah.
back in style.
Isn't that nice? Nice.
Hi, honey, how are you?
I see.
Very often. Like such a
Had never seen You can sit on the front.
No, there's. I have, yeah, I'm gonna take a picture. I saw your, pictures from, pretty wild. I'm not a real big height person, but I was pretty proud. Get dressed. Okay, so you got nowhere to go with this.
It's a whole different look, right?
It is, well, it's a COVID look.
What do they call it?
You know, I kinda like it, my wife's tired of it. Yeah, we'll see.
It's like, you know, I remember it's about all my dad back in
Thank you so much.
Or maybe it's just because I do.
Yeah.
We can bring in more chairs. We have more chairs. Maybe a couple of these will go along.
And these will be out of the way.
You said more room on the right? Yeah.
There's more over here.
Yes. Right.
How are you doing?
Y'all, this is good. This is a good problem to have. More people showing up. I love it.
Right. You invited, you like You invited me to come for Tuesday's meeting and I didn't respond, right?
Yes, that's okay. You showed up though, so this was about a result.
Just relying on this team. I don't have to be so quiet now. This is social time until Marco raises his hand. Yeah, tips the gavel. Here he goes.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Good.
We have a full house.
Yeah.
A royal flash and a full house. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all our Zoomers. Good to have you with us. Let's get started. Gary Keller says, what is it that differentiates those who achieve at a high level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? And this always makes me think, and you guys have heard me say this, we all have a 24-hour cycle. We don't have more or we don't have less hours. So it's what we do with the 24 hours, right? So this question, when I read it the first time, really got stuck in my mind. What is it that differentiates those who achieve at a very high level, the highest level, from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? And then he answers the question. After thoroughly researching this question, Gary discovered that all high achievers have 3 attributes in common. Who knows what it is? Who's done the 6 PPs? Mindset, attitude, and our approach to life. So mindset is key. He says, when you interview the very top people and ask them what their biggest challenge is, invariably, they will tell you that it is mindset, not inventory. Mindset. Keeping it strong, focused, and positive amid many challenges they encounter every day on their way to the top. Gary continues, life is an insight to the outside experience. When you get this at a deep level, you realize that who you are inside, mindset, how you see life, your perspectives, who you are on the inside determines and drives what you are outside. The very best achievers know this and therefore truly work on protecting their mindset. So that is my story for this morning that I wanted to share with you guys. Mindset is key. Mindset is absolutely key. And those are the three things that differentiates those who achieve at a very high level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much. Which, I just looked at numbers. As you guys know, I love numbers because numbers tell a story. And if we know where we are and numbers tell us where we were, we can fairly accurately short-term determine where we're going. And I just find it interesting if I compare the yearly trend analysis detached properties. May 2020, number of solds was 12,597. And then if I compare that with October 2019 pre-COVID, it was 15,504. So only a slight difference, a difference of 1,642. What I also find interesting is the number of pendings in May 2021 was 10,153. Last year, it was 8,596. So we have higher pendings, higher solds than we've had last year. So is inventory really our biggest challenge? Or is it actually that the demand is just higher? And then the message is very, very simple. Focus your mindset on your database, focus your energy that you invest on your database, cultivate and maintain those relationships. Most important, because the numbers, we have more solds now than we've had previously. So inventory, therefore, is not really the challenge. It's just that it sells much quicker at this stage. Very interesting. Ellie, what's next? Tell us something good. Who has something good to share? I have to ask you now. I saw Terry putting something in her mouth and I thought I'm going to ask her. Share something good. Who has something good to share?
Sandra.
I have my first listing.
You had your first lesson. Yes, congratulations. That is amazing. That is a celebration. Awesome. Something to celebrate. Good. What else? Who else?
MJ, come on. You had your hand up.
Liz.
Sorry.
Liz.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, I listed a property on Thursday and had an open house on Sunday, and we actually we had multiple offers, and actually the open house brought us another offer too. So they are worth doing.
Awesome. Liz, congratulations. That is awesome. Who else? Azumas, tell us something good. One more. Going once, going twice. Hank, tell us something good. Share something good.
We woke up today.
Absolutely. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be alive. Hi, Bull.
Hey, MJ's right, but if you listed a little bit, I'm sorry, Liz, I'm looking at the back of your head, I don't know. Liz is right, but if you listed a little earlier in the week, like Tuesday or Wednesday, you usually by Sunday, it's under contract and you can watch golf. You don't have to do the open. We had one up in Alpharetta and we listed it for 7 1/4 the week before last, had 5 offers and it went up to 800K. And the nice thing was it was as is. They did an inspection, but they wrote in the contract as is, no contingencies, no finance. So within a day or so, they did their inspection and were basically done waiting for close.
Awesome. Well, note to self, here's the 3 circles: mindset, attitudes, and your approach to life that differentiates you from people who don't seem to accomplish as much. I think we need to add strategy here as well, because I like that strategy, Bill. Absolutely. Paul?
I had a client in the last 6 months who's shopping and making offers, and more offers. And I think she made even more offers after she made those offers. This time she made 3 offers in the same day.
Wow.
And she's got 2 accepted offers.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So now today she gets to choose. So she's pretty,
Awesome.
she's ready to quit.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Very good.
Rachel, we have a lot to celebrate.
Yes, I have something good to share. So I know it was a weird year, 2020. So
we did our awards a little differently, and so did the board. They did a Zoom of their board awards, which I didn't think really celebrated y'all enough. So I got all of your top producer awards, and I framed them, and I'm gonna quickly give them out to y'all. It won't take too long, I promise. I'm gonna start out with this one, because I think it's so sweet. Couldn't find Miss Faith Brown's award, and that was because her partner Kevin picked it up for her and framed it.
Aww.
So Faith, Faith Brown is now a ARA member, and that's why she's got a fancier frame, because Kevin did it. All right, and I'll go through these quickly. Mr. Eddie Levin is a top 15% individual with $5 million. Ben Lynn of Ming Sells Real Estate is a ARA 2020 member. Miss Deb Martino is a 2020 ARA member. Mr. Michael Martino, so they're together, separated, so this production's both of them. Top 10% average volume per team member in excess of 6 million. So Miss RJ just walked in, and she is a life member with a production of $10 million. Denise McEnany, not here, but she is a top 5% individual volume, $16 million. Katie Melcher, who is here, top 15% individual volume, $5 million. Miss Simon Blackman is not here, but her husband will be joining our office later. So look out for that new power couple.
In commercial.
In commercial. And Diamond is top 15% with $5 million. We have Miss Roshonda Coleman, who was running around crazy today, doing more business. Top 15%, $4 million. We have Renita Crawley, top 15% individual.
She's on Zoom.
She's on Zoom. Renita, $5 million. Cynthia Pierce, top 5% average volume production per team member in excess of $10 million. Susan Eschbach, Home Deals by Susan. She's not here, might be on Zoom, but she is a top 5 individual, top 5% individual with $11 million in production. Renee Grace is a top 10% individual unit production with 16 units.
She's on Zoom.
Billy Howard is a top 10% individual volume with $9 million in production. Michelle Morales, you are a top 15% individual volume with a volume of excess $5 million. I think Virginia might be on Zoom. Virginia Moran, top 10% individual volume with a excess production of $8 million. We have Katie McKenzie Nelson, a top 15% individual volume in excess of $5 million in production. We have Mitali Patel. This was her biggest year yet, and top 10% individual with an excess of $7 million in production. I think I saw Tajma on Zoom, but she is a top 15% individual with an excess of $5 million in production. We have Miss Michelle Pleasant, who is a top 15% individual volume with a production of excess $5 million. We have Kevin Probst, not as fancy as a frame as his partner, but he is a top 10% average volume production team member in excess of $8 million. So I love that Kevin picked up Faith's certificate and not his own.
Mr. Humility.
We have Miss Jessica Schulte, her best year yet too, top 5% individual volume with an excess of $13 million.
While getting an executive MBA.
Yes, while getting an executive MBA. We have MJ Thomas with, sorry, Liz, not you, I'm confused at this time, with a top 10% individual volume, excess of $6 million. We have Miss Becky Veal, top 10% individual volume with an excess production of $8 million. And then we have Julie Yang, who is on Ming's team, and this is her first time as a 2020 ARA member. So this is her first year. So and then we have Ming Zhao, and this is y'all probably know he does more commercial, but he is a lifetime member as well with a top 15% average production per team member. So that's it. Those are our ARA awards. Hopefully next year, residential only. Hopefully next year we'll be dressed all fancy again and we will be at the board in a more grand ceremony. But for now, we're all adjusting to COVID. So everyone on Zoom, if you didn't get these, come get these from me, and good job, everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.
May I add two names to that on the commercial side? Rocky Kaufman received the Phoenix Award for 10 years
10 years.
in the $1 Million Club. And Scott Morchauer became a life member of the commercial $1 Million Club for 5 years in the $1 Million Club.
As soon as that commercial board mails me these certificates, they will get a frame and they will get.
We've all gotten ours.
Okay. Sorry, you can't bypass me. All right, well, congratulations, everyone.
Ready? And the celebrations continue tomorrow when you celebrate your 18th all over again.
Yes.
You and Diamond Blackman, congratulations on your birthdays. Then later in the week, Joe, Bambora, MJ, Temiko, Chaz, Sandra Stewart, and Sandy, congratulations on your birthdays coming up this week. Many, many blessings and an abundance of everything that is good and well and favorable and wealth and health to all of you. Good. Next, then May on-market listings. Folks, we've ended May on 81 listings. Our goal was 75, and we know he who controls the inventory controls the market. We just spoke about inventory, so congratulations on all of you. We've made target, and currently June on-market listings, the goal 75, and we were on 10 listings month to date for the month of June. So a little bit of opportunity and work that we can do there on the listing side. Seems to me we continue to celebrate. How awesome is that? Now let's celebrate our cappers. We have Paige Kaufman and Diamond Blackman and Michelle Pleasant and Lorraine Cohen and Martha Freiberg. Congratulations on capping, all of you. That 30% is the difference that makes the difference, absolutely. Top May individual sales volume celebrations as well. In third place, Jana Huffam. Second place, Susan Esbeck. And first place, top individual sales volume, Jessica Schulte with just below $4 million. That's amazing. Amazing, amazing. May top team sales volume, the McCarthy Group, Cynthia Pierce team, and Frameworks Group with just over 3 million. Congratulations, all of you. Our top group sales volume, we sell Atlanta in third place, the Providence Group in second place, and 1.6 million, the very strategic Haas Home Advisor.
I was a group.
Yo! Groupie, congratulations. May top closed units. Group, 7 units. Ming Sells Real Estate Team Frameworks at 10 units. And individual Tajma Graves with 6 units. Congratulations to you guys. top written volume for my group, 4.2 million, the Providence Group. Just below 5 million, Cynthia Pierce team.
Yay.
And individual, just short of 4 million. Once again, Jessica Schultz, which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, folks. Top written units, the Providence Group at 9, team, Frameworks at 10 units, and Taj McGrave's 12 units. That is amazing.
Closed 6 and went under contract with 12. No wonder she's not answering my call.
Top written units, individual, pardon me, top listed volume, group, the Providence Group, just below 3 million, Frameworks as a team, 3 million, and individual Michael Culver, 1.9, just short of 2 million. Amazing. Congratulations. Top listed units for May, the Providence Group and the Haas Home Advisors with 5 units each. Team, 9 units for Frameworks. Absolutely amazing. And individual, Bob and Dominique sharing at 5 units each. Congratulations to all of you. Huge. Congratulations. Certainty. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Come talk to us.
We'd love to. How you doing, Marco?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. Randy Lipp, Certainty Home Loans. It's been a while since I've seen this many faces in the office. And yes, I do have a little bit of a tan. Been down in the Keys for a week or so. So actually,
3 weeks.
actually or so. But anyhow, I wanted to share with you a couple of things that have changed. We talked to you guys a lot about the renovation loans, okay? I still think it's one of the most underutilized products that we have that's available to you all, but there are some changes. It used to be we could do the renovation on investment property and second homes. We can no longer do that. It is strictly now for owner-occupied homes. But it is a fantastic program. We have actually several programs. Just briefly, the easiest is the escrow holdback that you can utilize for your borrowers that have found the home in the right neighborhood, but it's not quite the perfect home.
You let them know that.
They need to have the countertops replaced, the kitchen remodeled, the bathrooms remodeled. They can do up to 10% of the purchase price in renovations without it increasing the interest rate or the length of time it takes to close. They can roll that into the financing of the property. It's a great program.
Does not increase closing costs.
It does not increase the closing costs, but $150. Then we have the Home Style renovation program. Home Style is a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac product. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do to that home, up to 75% of the after appraised value. In other words, you can take a $200,000 home and put in another $200,000 and make it a $400,000 home. And you can roll that into the financing at closing. So if you have a property that your borrowers like, that has a bad roof, it has bad siding, it has other problems, and they don't have the money to fix it, they can put as little as 5% down and roll all that renovation cost right into the loan. So it's a very underutilized product. We also have an FHA product that I'm gonna let Paul talk about because he's got a lot of firsthand experience. And also, if you have a listing, again, that has issues, you're trying to sell it as is at a deep discount, why not do yourself a favor and your seller a favor and try to sell it with one of the renovation loans? They will be very appreciative. They will be able to capture more equity. Sometimes they don't have the money to do those repairs. I know we all like to sell those perfect homes. We tell our sellers, you need to paint, you need to clean up, you need to remodel, you need to do this to maximize your dollars. But if those sellers don't have the money, this is a great program. Paul, tell them about the FHA.
I've learned some new things about FHA. I was doing the mini renovation loan and there was some safety issues, steps on the front porch that were not in good shape. There was a post that was holding up the porch that was not mortared right, however you want to, it didn't have a concrete base, and it stopped my loan. We didn't know what to do, so we went FHA renovation. We're doing all this renovation, and I'm worried about the value, and I just learned FHA will take the as-is value, take the bids from the contractor. They're gonna do as-is appraisal, and then a subject to value. And if it's not enough to cover, they'll add another 10%. So my house was as-is 200, it appraised for 225, our loan amount's 247.5. It saved the deal.
Now, did you guys hear that? The subject to, I want to make sure you understand, the appraised value with the repairs is 220.
And that's with a new brand new cool ass bathroom.
Because it's FHA, their loan amount is 247.5. 247.5. They will go 110% of the appraised value. So it's, you guys really need to learn more about these products. Come see Paul, come see
One more
Matt.
thing, there is a FHA consultant that's mode certified. He's a mediator. He's EPA certified. He is the liaison between the bill or the contractor, certainty, and FHA, and he becomes the client's go-to person. So far, what I've seen from this guy is awesome. You got to pay for him. Most of it can be rolled into loan, but some of it has to be paid up front. But he's very helpful.
So come see one of us and let's have some one-on-one conversations and learn more about this product, because it can really help you guys sell a lot more homes and make your sellers and your buyers a lot happier with you and build your value.
I can attest to that. I'm new in this office. I actually work with Matt Lip, and he actually, the client that I had at that particular moment, we did a condominium, and we did that construction loan. And it went really well.
Renovation, good. Well, Matt couldn't be here today, but I will pass that along. I appreciate that.
Tracy. I did
Yeah.
2 transactions with
Yep. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Matthew McConaughey, where's Randy left?
That was good, Bill, that was good.
Thank you.
Only because I can, Bill. Only because I can.
Thank you, Matthew and Paul. Appreciate it.
I did enter the Ernest Hemingway contest in Key West.
Renee Dillon, good morning. Kenny, come talk to us.
I am not tan from being in the Keys. I like just baseball tournaments, 10-year-olds. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Dillon with Gannett PC. I'm never in the right spot.
Right there.
Where? I need an X on the floor.
There's an
Yes, we need it.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Renee Dillon, Gannett PC, one of the owners, and I manage our Brookhaven office around Ashford Dunwoody. So on the way over here, I got off the phone with my second California buyer in 2 days that is buying a property here in Georgia, but we're doing a mail out to them for their documents because they're not going to be here. They're not going to be here for the closing. I think both of them are actually investment properties. They're not intending to live in the property full time. So we have been doing a lot of mail outs lately, and mail outs have changed over the last few years. We used to be able to send them out, a few days prior to closing, get the documents back and fund on the day of closing. Lenders do not allow that anymore. So what we're doing is the mail outs occur, we send the documents ahead of time, but they have to actually sign on the date of closing. So when do we fund? When we get the original documents back, which is usually the next day. For years and years, we were able to still fund on the day of closing. We can't do that anymore. So just keep that in mind if your buyers aren't going to be attending closing and they need a mail out. Just be aware, checks are not being cut until the next day when we receive the documents. We actually have to get the documents back before we can fund. That's always been a requirement, having the original docs. But just make sure your sellers, or if you have a seller and the buyer is doing a mail away, make sure your sellers know that it's not going to fund on the day of closing. It's going to fund the day after. So keys don't get exchanged until the day after the property is.
Has that been a big, for people?
Yes, sellers are, it's taking the sellers by surprise.
That's pretty big.
It is a pretty big deal. And, you know, I mean, since the pandemic started, you know, we have more and more closings where everyone's sitting at the table at the time and date of closings, but it's still probably a good, you know, 50–60%, you know, we're signing sellers separately ahead of time, or they're coming in, you know, at different times. We don't have everyone at the table. So really just know for your buyers what's going to be expected of them, and also make sure your sellers, you know, have their expectations. Because a lot of times those sellers are signing ahead of time, but, you know, they call our office looking for their wire. It's not going to be coming until the day after when we get the documents back.
The business day after.
The business day after. So yes, if you know that you're going to be doing one of these, or if this is a transaction, you know, make sure that we're closing on, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so that it's not, you know, waiting over the weekend for the sellers to get their money. And for you to get your money. We all need to get
Isn't a
paid.
POA a lot easier?
Yes, if somebody can sign and talk at the same time and has the ability to write signatures. No,
And not their agent, not the.
not their agent. Y'all cannot be a power of attorney. I kid. We love our power of attorneys that struggle with writing all the language. Powers of attorney are a better option. Just again, that has to be, all of this has to be approved by their lender. So, you know, we need to know ahead of time. We need to plan ahead of time. If people are out of the country and wanting to do, first of all, they're out of the country, they absolutely need to do a POA. And depending on what country they're in, that's another problem that we've been running into. You know, not all countries are handling COVID as well as we have, so as well as the US is. A lot of embassies are closed. It's a lot harder to get into foreign notaries. We had somebody that was initially like 6 weeks out from their embassy appointment to get a power of attorney signed. So again, and I don't know why people love to buy and sell properties and then leave the country or purchase from another country. I don't know why that's the case, but something else to keep in mind if you have a foreign buyer or seller, we really need to get that process started ahead of time with the POA as much as possible. Any other questions? Thank y'all so much for keeping us busy. We had a crazy good May. Got to see a lot of people in the office, which was awesome. But thank you for all your support, and just keep all those closings coming in. We love it. Thank you.
You guys rock.
Thank you very much, Renee. And now our vendor of the week, Mr. Gene Roberts, Choice Home Warranty. Hi, Gene.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. So today I'm going to talk about something that you're probably going to look at me like, why don't he talk about that? So I want to talk about seller's coverage, right? Different market right now. You're thinking, why in the world would he talk about seller's coverage when it goes under contract as soon as it hits the market? Well, let's think about it differently and think about it as a tool to help you. So are you always getting every listing you go on? If you're not, maybe incorporate this as another added tool. So tell your seller, I'm going to do all this other stuff for you, and in addition to that, I'm going to provide a warranty for the buyer, which will help you from a liability standpoint, and I'm going to cover you between now and the 2 days till it closes. But it'll cover them while it's listed, from the time that you put the listing in until it closes. I don't know if you've ever had an experience where something breaks a day or two before closing, but it's not fun. So just something extra that you can add in your toolbox to try to get a listing. If you're on the buyer side, are you winning every deal? Probably not. So you're doing all this other stuff. Say in addition to all this highest best offer, we're also going to be providing a warranty for the buyer, which will help you from a liability standpoint, and we're going to provide a home warranty for you during the listing period. Home warranties for the listing period are free for everything except for heating and air. I wouldn't get it without it. It's $60 to add heating and air. But if you're on a listing appointment or if you're in a bidding war, just something else that you can add. The other thing I want to mention is we do allow buyers right now to pay monthly. So if your buyer's paying more for the house than they want, they don't have a lot of money, Our best plan, $580, is $48.34 a month. $48.34 is all they have to pay up front, and then every month they'll get hit for $48.34. Most claims come in the first 90 days after closing. Most people have a good intention on buying a warranty after the fact, but most of them don't do it. So why not go ahead and tell them, hey, get it set up. It'll only cost you $48.34. So I wanted to leave you with this so that you'll remember that I was here, even if it goes badly, and help you remember seller's coverage. Sometimes right before closing, things will break. Clients don't have the money, closings may be delayed. You've worked too hard to let it stall, or even worse, not close at all. Let us handle those problems before they start making you look like a hero in all your clients' hearts.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Can we get a duet? Because Terry is up next with our head No. I wanted to, but Terry said.
Oh, she said.
Yeah, she's in the spotlight with our head turner, and you guys can come and do a duet for us.
No one wants to hear me even try to sing row, row, row your boat. Not happening.
Oh, Terry.
Miss Jennifer, are you on here? Hello? Miss Jennifer? There she is.
Hey,
How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
You're on mute.
I'm not.
Unmute
No,
you.
I am
There you
muted.
go. Now,
I'm muted.
now you're good.
Okay.
There you go. How are you this morning?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So Miss Jennifer is my head turner for the month, and so I'm just going to ask you a few questions. How's that?
Okay, good.
Okay. So how long have you been in business?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So how many transactions did you do your first year?
I think maybe 5. My first, well, really 3 years. So for the first year was two or three, and then but my second and third have been the best. I didn't really. So the second and third year was, well, I know my total I think was a little over 3.5 million, so something like that.
Okay, so your first year and then your second year there, that's a better picture now.
Yeah, 2020 was much better.
Thank you. Okay, and so what do you think the difference between your first year and second year?
I'm getting a little work done in my house. The light's broken. Sorry.
So what do you think the difference between your first year and your second year were?
The first year, well, you know, the first year I was sick. You know, I had that stroke, so I was down that second half of the year. So that kind of hurt me a lot. But I came back kicking in 2020.
You came back kicking strong, lady. Yes,
I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So that was a big difference, was I just wasn't working.
Yeah. So when, after the stroke and getting yourself back and get going, what did you do that helped you to get back and going, get that momentum and be motivated to get going again?
I'm always out, so I put myself out there. I've always mentioned that I'm a realtor to anybody. It's like, you need a realtor. I always, I'm on my IG and Facebook a lot. I post a lot. I post when I do showings. People love seeing the houses that I show, because it could be anywhere from, 100 up to 1 million. So everyone likes to see like what's out there, the prices. I talk about, especially last year, I talked a lot about interest rates, how low the interest rates were. It was the perfect time to buy, especially people I knew that were renting for $1,900 a month, that they could, go into a home, a $300,000, $400,000 home for maybe even less than they're paying for rent. So just focusing on buyers more. So this year I'm working more on focusing on sellers. So I had a heavy buy year. So I'm working on shifting this year.
Okay, so and a couple other things, like this year, you've had some fairly high dollar transactions. And so you went from just an average price of like below 300 or a little bit more to much higher prices. What do you contribute that to?
I think my IG page, honestly, and then I'm actually, a lot of my referrals have been higher end. I mean, I'm around, a lot of my referrals have been friends too, and they just have, that's just the money that they make. And I just kind of focus on them, letting them know to refer me. I mean, it hasn't really been me necessarily focusing on that price point. It just happens to be that my referrals have been falling in that price point, and you know, who I'm around, who I hang out with, and who I know. And so it just kind of happens that way, I guess. It's the best way I can put it.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's the circles that you've been running in that's helped you to get into a higher price point.
Yeah, I definitely.
Okay, and so with that, do you talk about that on Instagram?
Well, not when you talk about.
Well, do you advertise the fact that you're in a higher price point on Instagram? Has that helped you get higher price points?
You know, I do, because I post all the time. I post when I'm under contract. I always put under contract. I put it on my Facebook page. I put it on my Facebook stories. And then I always, especially when I tour, I'll say, getting ready to tour tomorrow at 11, this beautiful $1.4 million something. And so then people actually tune in, and so then people say, oh, well, but then I also post too, the 3, the 2, the 3s, the 4s, because, and I don't want to push myself out of with other people too. Said, well, you're too busy for me. Nope, I'm never too busy. Always call me. So I try to make sure I advertise both.
Good. And so when someone responds to you on Instagram, what's the first thing that you do?
The first thing I do when somebody responds, I ask them what they're looking for, what their price point is, what their budget is, and the area, and in their time frame.
Okay, and then what do you, in this in the seller's market, I should say, I don't know where that was coming from, buyer's market, we know that's not happening. So what have you noticed selling or getting your higher price points under contract versus the lower price points? What have you noticed?
I noticed it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for my higher price point, because with the 300-400s, I feel like it's always 12 to 30 offers. Lately, with between 600 to 900, it's been maybe 2 to 4 offers. It's a lot better. So it's a lot easier to bid, and maybe they might have no offers at all.
Gotcha. So what would you recommend to agents that want to get up in the higher price points?
I think IG is a big help, because people end up and posting on your page what you're doing, kind of bragging on yourself a little bit, honestly. And then, and right now I'm working on lead gen, and of course through you've helped me a lot with that, with my lead generation and having somebody make calls for me. But that actually hasn't been and we talked about this, that hasn't been as successful for me. It's really been a lot of referrals, honestly. You know, I do have a lot of people in the industry and things like that, so they have a little bit higher price point. Some of the circles that I run in are kind of have a higher price point. So that helps a lot, because then I'm getting referred in these 800, 900, 1.4. People are looking just because that's what they do.
Okay, great. And then you just
I don't know if that's helpful, but that's just what happens. It's referral. It's heavily referral based, I guess.
Right. So, I mean, that's where you want to be in your business, right? Is heavily referral based, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes.
How did you start getting people to refer to you? What type of things did you do to get people to refer you business?
So I let them know that I work very hard. One of the things that people always mention is that you can call me anytime. I mean, I want to start getting away from that, because people are taking that literal at this point, but I'm always available. It's getting a little hectic, but so I'm not trying to wait buyers as much, but I definitely let people know that I'm available anytime. If they want to see a house, if they call me in the afternoon, if they call me in the afternoon, like I can't escape. Sorry, guys. So yeah, you can call me anytime. I'm available. If you want to see a house, most of the time I make myself available, even if it's 6, 7 at night. I'm just always there. It's like, for advice, if you want to talk to me about any little thing for an hour, I listen. So I just think making myself available, and then they know that I, try to fight for them to get the best price, even in this market, try to get closing costs. And so once people feel like I've done so much for them, then they say, oh, she'll work really hard for you. She's the best realtor in the city of Atlanta, even though, I'm still building, but I just always try to make myself available
What is your best advice that you can
and
give?
work hard. See that.
Thank you. We've got a delay. You and I have a delay here. So, what is your best advice that you can give other agents that are in the business today, or maybe just starting out, or agents that want to get into the higher price points? Your best advice.
Going to different meetings and networking is really big. Like I said, I'm out a lot. So, and I'm out in places, maybe different, like meetings or country clubs, or some of the people I know that are in the entertainment industry. And I just make sure that they know that I'm a realtor, because a lot of people you're in the room with, you say realtor and then they forget. So it's just a constant reminder. That's why I'm always on my stories on IG, and I can see who's viewed my stories, and I might make comments. So for me, it's literally been my circle. And so I just make sure that everybody in my circle knows that I'm a realtor, because people really do forget. So I just keep that going all the time. Even my IG says Realtor Jen Renee, Realtor_Jen Renee. Everything I do in my email, Realtor Jen Renee.
Everything that you do,
Huh?
behind it. Everything
Is Realtor. Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Any other
Everything I have
advice
in
that
front of
you
my
can give? Any other advice you can give?
Some advice I can give is definitely, I just think to put yourself out there, just to always advertise yourself, to work hard, to show people. And then testimonials are really big. I try to put a lot of testimonials in my stories or pictures, and have people post about me too, so that it's just not me saying it, that it's other people saying it. And then that people trust you. And then the big thing is, once you get one person, they see that you're in that price point, then more people refer you into that price point in their circle, I should say.
Birds of a feather.
That's what happens.
Is that?
Yeah,
that's
it's
kind of a silly
repetitive, but
saying,
that's what it is.
Pardon me?
Yeah, it's, I know I sound a little repetitive, but it's true. I just really put myself out there, and I really post about everything that I'm doing, like the pictures, or that it's under contract, or viewing this house tomorrow, 1.1 million, and people just love that. People kind of flocked. It's odd, but it is true.
So how often do you post?
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
Sometimes every day, sometimes a couple times a day. And I definitely do stories multiple times a day. And I don't just post about houses. I also post, personal things, so people can get to know me. People see you on vacation, and or I might do a photo shoot, and and people will comment on that. They say, oh, you're doing big things. So I don't know, people just like to see you doing well, I guess. And so they refer you, and they say, oh, I know a guy that would love to work with you. And then I get another referral. So that's really it, honestly.
Thank you so much. Questions, anybody? Anybody have questions for Jennifer? No? Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being with us today.
Thank you.
Stacey, on June 15th, we have Aaron Kaufman. You want to talk to us about that?
I do. I also want my buddy Rashonda to join in. We'll talk about the man.
Yes.
The one, the only, Aaron Kaufman. Aaron is actually, he's out of the Peachtree Road office. I attended a class that he did at Sandy Springs a few years ago. He has a system for building. All he does is attract agents to Keller Williams because he believes in it that much. And he is I don't know, maybe other than Linda McKissick, the #1 instructor on building your profit share downline. It is such an incredible opportunity. Marco says, and I don't think you coined the phrase, equal opportunity, unequal reward.
I heard it the first time from Mo Anderson, that
Right.
profit share is an equal opportunity with an unequal reward, because not everybody takes up that equal opportunity. Absolutely.
Right, it is not just because people that joined Keller Williams 10 years ago or whatever, there is, you can still start today. It doesn't matter that you haven't been with the company a long time. Invite people you like and are fit with our culture, come join Keller Williams, encourage them in their production, and over time, it is amazing. Would you agree, Michael?
I would agree.
Amazing, the growth. This is a heritable asset you can leave to your children, heirs, whomever. It never dies. Oh my gosh. So talk about building a legacy. I know I follow him on Facebook. What else would you? He's really a dynamic teacher. So next Tuesday, he's actually presenting a 2-hour class. Everybody's invited. Of course, we'll do this in person and Zoom. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. So what else can you say?
You definitely don't, Erin. So this is a class. This is been talking about profit share. So this is a class dealing with the Keller Williams Social Equity Committee. So what we're doing is we're focusing on wealth building and we're focusing on leadership. So if you pay attention, we've been pinging back and forth. So the Martinos are on the committee. Ellie, a few other people. I'll just get in the room right quick. Aaron is the person, if you ever hear anybody talking about profit share, he is one of the people besides the McKissicks. Besides the McKissicks that people are talking about. And the office was so gracious to have him come in and agree to bring him in because Aaron's system is like crazy. So our committee, we're all about helping you build passive income. So if you want to do it, come in. He's willing to stay. We're doing 2 hours, but he's actually booked for 4 hours. He's willing to stay as long as people are willing to have questions and allow him to pour into you. So I will be in the room, and a lot of the people from our committee will be in the room as well. So we definitely encourage you to come out and create wealth, build wealth, and take control. The systems that he's going to be able to show us is going to be very practical. So we're not going to spend a lot of hoorah time about like how great Keller Williams is. We're all at Keller Williams, we know that. We're gonna really dig into how do you apply this today while we're sitting in class so you can start making that passive income. I know for me, it became a focus area of mine and it's been a consistent income stream. I have a 5-year goal on where I'm going and my passive income from profit share will be one of those avenues of passive income for me. So join us. Social Equity Committee, we're loving it. So last month was 135 and 411. This month is profit share, and we're going to continue going and growing. Anything else?
So it's the 15th at what time? I'm just trying to read it. 10 to 12.
10 to 12.
So regular 2 meeting time, but it'll be 2 hours.
Yeah, and kudos really to the office for this because they are allowing us to use that space that we have our team meeting time to actually start it off with. So kudos to y'all, and they're paying for it too. So, so we appreciate it.
Minister of Finance writing that check.
I just want to say that I'm one of the top growth share earners in our region in South Africa. And it's truly, as Stacey said, it's an equal opportunity. And I didn't have a choice to take up the opportunity when I opened the Keller Williams office. I had to do it. Now I'm smiling. It's an equal opportunity and it's never too late. It's never too late. Take up that opportunity for passive income. 2 phrases pop to mind. King Solomon said, the person that's full of excuses usually says, I can't go on that path because there's a line on the path. And then only when you read on, it starts to make sense because he says, there where the tree falls, there it will lie. There it will stay. And okay, well, that's not very intelligent. There where the tree falls, there, obviously it makes sense. But if you analyze what he's actually saying and you combine those two don't be full of excuses saying that there's a line on the path and that's an excuse for not taking up opportunities in life. And secondly, if you do not, there where the tree falls, there, the decision that you've made, that's your decision. And that's where you will be. So tackle that line. Tackle that line. Stacey, when was for sale by owners and expired?
Or Ignite.
Or Ignite.
Oh my goodness, we started our first class of Ignite 2.0, and some of my students are here, so exciting. It's much more practical. The objective for Spark, the first half of it is to get an appointment within the first 2 weeks. And so we're really focusing on scripts and practicing connecting with people, and then the second half will be the practical stuff. So we have a good group, and I invited anybody that wants to come back and take it. There's no charge, or just pop into the classes, and we'll put the schedule out of exactly which class is where. Basically 10 to 12, except for Tuesdays because of team meeting a little later. So it is. Did you enjoy your first day?
I did, and I applied stuff last night, and I already have a meeting for Friday.
Oh my gosh, out there. Jason?
No meeting. I did do a call, so.
And was the class worth it?
I'm still trying to learn how to navigate with how to navigate the conversation, but
yeah,
I definitely feel like it's worth it.
Right. Oh goodness, good. Yay, team. Okay, next slide. Okay, Jean keeps lining up good, very valuable classes for us. I know Miss Maya Sam has had some serious success with FSBOs. She took gold in the fall and just said, why not me? And she went for it. And so Coach Rob Daniel is offering this. It's 1 hour and it's free. So, you just have to register so you get the Zoom link. Who has recently done one of the Rob classes? Rob, okay. Would you?
Oh, I'd always recommend him. Yeah, I did bold with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was earlier this year. And
then
I also did the last class that they offered, and it was great. Great. You just have your notes ready to take.
Right, you're ready to take notes. Exactly. So learn how to obtain 2 FSBOs and 2 expired listings every month for the rest of this year. He makes promises that he can, can make happen. Right, next. And then, drum roll, now this is a much bigger opportunity. This is an ongoing 6 months of coaching a class with Coach Rob. It's only an hour per week, but it is an ongoing $99 per month. So obviously that's about $600 overall. But if you want to be an MREA agent, which Ming Joe is an MREA agent, his GCI exceeded $1 million last year, you too can do it. And it does not matter what level you are at, because this will expand your thinking, wouldn't you think?
Oh, absolutely. We spoke about it yesterday, the 4 models. That's the fundamentals of the real estate business. The economic model, lead generation model, budget model, organization model, and it sounds very complicated until you actually analyze it, and then you realize how simplistic it is. And if I may add, folks, as Stacey said, it's the millionaire real estate agent. To net $1 million, you need to gross, give or take, $2.6 million. And if business is layers upon layers upon layers, if you go into the technical side of just the budget model, and you will see best practices for your operating expense, cost of sale, which is supposed to be around about 30% to ensure a profit margin of 40%. It's really deeper and deeper into business. So make sure this happens. You cannot conduct your business. In 2017, Gary Keller said when he presented Quantum Leap in Las Vegas, he said that show me gravity. This always gets stuck to me when we talk about the 4 models. And he said, No one can show me gravity, but you can see the effects of gravity, but you cannot show me gravity. And then he says, you cannot show me the laws of business. Show me the laws of business, but you can surely identify the effects of applying the laws of business. And in real estate, in my point of view, those are the 4 laws in business, is the 4 models of Keller Williams. And now we've added a 5th model, which is the expansion model. Once you've perfected model 1 through 4. Don't shy away from it. 24 hours, maximize your 24-hour cycle. Maximize the seasons in your life by being in a learning-based state of mind. So I would definitely invite you to time block and put an hour a week aside for 6 months. Make that happen. Good.
Marco?
Yes, ma'am.
MAPS coaching is $1,000 a month. You guys need to take advantage of $99 a month.
Right, just think
Thanks.
how easily we spend $100
Yeah.
a day, if not, I mean, on a good meal. And this is, $100 a month and 1 hour a week.
It's worth it.
It is really a bargain.
When I was unexperienced, I didn't implement it. With education, I implemented it. So I can tell you that I haven't done it, and I've done it, and I know the difference. And if there's one thing that you'll remember me for, it's because I'm going to do this now. I will literally get down on my knees, and I will ask you to do this and stay in a learning-based state of mind, because the difference that this will make in your life, it doesn't end there. It impacts the circle of your life, your family, and everybody they influence. So don't ever underestimate the influence that you can have on someone else's life, but it starts with business. Why business? Because the purpose of business is profit. The purpose of profit is to fund a perfect life. And then the next question is, what does a perfect life looks like to you? That's the question that needs to get stuck in your head. What have we got coming up? Next slide. Where's Bill? There he is. What have you got coming up? Bill and Kevin and...
No, me first.
Oh, yes,
Sorry. So first listing within walking distance to historic Norcross, on 1.5 acres, selling it as is. The home was built in 1945. Think Chip and Joanna Gaines potential. Listed at $450, coming tomorrow or Thursday. So bring buyers, investors, anybody. It's a beautiful house. Just needs a owner to bring it back to life.
Renovation Loans.
Zoned historic.
Thank you.
Zoned historic, right?
It's not zone historic. No.
But it is in historic Norcross.
It's in historic Norcross. It has you could put a pool in the back, a fully usable yard in the back, huge lot.
Awesome. Katie?
Hi, I'm Katie Nelson, for those on Zoom. I have a listing coming next week, Marietta, Sprayberry High School. It's gonna be 3-bed, 2-bath, master on Main, 360, beautiful brand new kitchen and bathrooms. Should go real fast.
Thanks for sharing, Katie.
This is Denise. By Zoom, can you?
Denise, you're warbly. She's in so like an alien.
She's speaking slow, so everyone
Hear Hello, hear me? Aldine Heights. I'm trying. It's getting to me. I have a wobbly voice. Hello. I appear to have lost you. Okay, so I have a listing coming up in Sandy Springs and Spalding Heights. We're going to list around the 24th of June. It's a great house. It does not have a basement, but it has a master on the main with dual bathrooms, brand new, his and hers. High ceilings, a beautiful pool, walk out to a beautiful pool. 2 more bedrooms on the first floor that share a bath. The family room is open to the kitchen, and the upstairs has 2 more bedrooms that share a bath. It's a great house, possibly an empty nester house for people who have grandchildren because of the master on the main and the no basement and the pool.
Thank you, Denise. How
Sorry,
much?
guys. I said it's going to be in the mid-7s.
Mid-7s, okay. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, sorry.
Maya.
Yeah, I have a listing coming up in Roswell, Centennial High, Northwood Elementary, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, range, no steps, no garages. I tell everybody, no garages. 370, very nicely updated. Yeah, it's coming up this Saturday, hitting the market this Saturday.
Thank you, Maya. Who else? Ms. Danudi.
We have a coming soon that's in FMLS. Estate sale's just over. They're trying to clean it out, but people are finding out about it. So it's 560 in on Taylor's Court in East Cobb, Mount Bethel School District, master on the main, finished basement. And then we have Stevens Walk is coming on Friday or Saturday. It's gated community off of Tilly Mill. It's got a master on the main and 2 other bedrooms on the main and a finished basement. $750 for that one. And then we have Glen Meadow coming hopefully on Friday. And it's going to be listed for $659.9. It has 3 baths upstairs, people like that, and a beautiful flat backyard.
How much was the East Cobb one?
560.
Cynthia?
I've got one in Decatur, University Heights, coming online at $395, vacant, ready to go. Probably bidding war available on Thursday. 3-2, renovated, cute, vacant, ready to go.
Awesome. Who else, folks?
I've got next week coming up in Douglasville, 425, 3 bedroom, 3 bath on an acre, gated in, well, the house itself is gated in Douglasville.
Is that your first or second one?
My first one.
Awesome. I thought it's the second one already. We celebrated, but let's keep celebrating it. Friday. Anybody else?
I've got one. I have one in Beaufort. It's going to be listed at $349, and we just took pictures yesterday. We're going to list it tomorrow. 4 bed, 3 bath, and it's great. It's built in 2013, so everything's kind of fresh and new.
Good, thank you, Katie. Bill?
The one I've been talking about in Dunwoody Club Forest for $799 on Stapleton Court is going to get listed probably tomorrow or Thursday. Nice traditional house with a finished basement. Also have a rental in Dunwoody Club Forest for $4,500 a month. Landlord's looking for a 2-year lease.
2-year lease, $4,500 in where?
Dunwoody Club Forest.
Dunwoody Club Forest. Awesome. Then, if there isn't anything else at 11:30.
No.
Not?
Now.
Now.
Right now.
Yes.
Now, right now we have Katie that's going to talk to us about LinkedIn.
Yes.
Good.
Right
now.
So if anybody wants to stay for Katie's LinkedIn instruction or leave, just if you're leaving, do it quickly and quietly, please.
If y'all are in coaching with me, I suggest you stay for this class. Yes, ma'am. I'll get you next.
No, but I wanted
My dad passed last year. He's a
She's doing California. Oh, there's Charlie Joe. I haven't seen
Getting excited.
vice versa.
Hey, we're gonna get one more minute.
I made you solely on the numbers, so the numbers are good, I'm on the high.
I like that.
And I knew you were gonna know what I'm saying. It'll be.
Marco.
And
Doing what you said.
how far
I'm taking people out yesterday.
It's
Like two.
Oh, no, it's
Mr. Allen.
How are you?
I did everything.
Everybody look at it, let them down.
Good morning, everybody. Well, it's almost, well, yeah, it's still morning. It's 11:30, right? Okay, not quite 11:30. This is Katie Melcher, and Katie has been in coaching with me. I guess we're going on 2 years, right? Yeah, 2 years now. So Katie has a fabulous system that she uses in LinkedIn, and she's been getting some good business from it. So she has mastered it. So I asked Katie probably a couple months ago if she would be willing to teach a class on how to use LinkedIn. I think it's a fantastic social platform, but it's not really social. It's not like Instagram or Facebook. It's actually a better platform to be doing business in. So Katie, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to be really sensitive to time. I'm very sensitive to time, so I'm going to make sure we get out of here by 11:30 for sure. If you have any questions, you can always send them to me at any time later, but my contact information is down here at the bottom. So how I set this up is I'll talk about why I use LinkedIn, a little bit about what it is, what I use it for, how I use it, and then we're going to get on my LinkedIn profile. I am not an expert. So when Terry asked me to do a training class, I'm like, I'm sure there are tons of people who know more about LinkedIn than I. This is what I'm doing to get rolling with it. I would love to hear what y'all are doing as well. So, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about or share my results and how to get you started. So first, here's how LinkedIn is different from Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. The biggest thing is it's for professionals. So that's the purpose. It's the reason people get on LinkedIn is because they're professional and they want to network with another professional. A lot of times, so I started building my LinkedIn profile when I was at Coca-Cola. I worked for Coca-Cola for 15 years, and really it was one of the big things when I started selling and talking to other companies. Then we would connect. If you were in a team, if you were in any meeting with someone, then it was very normal to before or after the meeting send them the LinkedIn connection, because you wanted to create that professional connection. So in that sense, it would be very normal for all of us to be LinkedIn connected because we work together, and whether we're friends, like we can always be friendly, but whether we're truly friends that we would have all these side conversations or not, we would be professional coworkers that would want to be connected. So that's kind of the point of it. But with that point of it, you have a more fluid audience. So your audience is more elevated because they're more talking about a professional. They're likely not an hourly worker. They likely have a salary and things like that. So it is pretty different from Facebook. So an example is like for LinkedIn, I'd have all of these coworkers, but they're not my friends. So like all my Coke people that I would meet, some of them we became friends, but a lot of them I'm not friends with. So they're not on my Facebook, they're not on Instagram. I may connect with some of them, but LinkedIn is how I still communicate with them that seems very authentic. And being authentic is super important in social media and in life, right? So, okay, that is how it is different. Okay, here's how I use it. So talking about MREA. So I developed for my end of last year, beginning of this year in January, I charged myself with creating a really strict, following the models, and really strict plan. In my very strict economic model, I had some real goals. And for my lead generation model, I realized I needed to add 221 contacts to my database. I know that's a very exact number. That's how I am sometimes.
So that is, so my goal with LinkedIn was, let me add 221 contacts to my command database. Then I wanted to define what a contact was. On LinkedIn, you have a name and you have a LinkedIn profile. So really, like anyone you connect with LinkedIn, you could go ahead and create as a contact in command. But is that a worthwhile contact in command? So like I started questioning to myself, and a lot of people will include their email address, especially if they are looking and open for jobs, you know? So they'll go ahead and include that. So you may already have a decent amount of information. You know where they work, you know what their LinkedIn profile is. Some of them even have phone numbers. So you may have all of the information without even actually contacting them for the information. I wanted to make sure that I started reaching out to people to get their phone number, because I found that for the people that I'm talking to, their phone number is the most important thing. The email doesn't, I get lost in their email, right? So I decided that before I would take a contact from LinkedIn and put it in command, I'd make sure I had their name, LinkedIn information, and their phone number. And then likely I'm also gonna have their email, or I'll get that too. And then a pro tip. So I started going on, these are people I know. I'm connected with these people on LinkedIn. And my pro tip was, I started just asking people for their phone number. Well, that didn't give me a great response rate. Just asking people that I just worked with or had a meeting with for their phone number. So then I changed my approach and was much more successful. And my changed approach was, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I'd love to connect. Here's my phone number. What's yours? And offering your phone number first will definitely yield you better results.
That's brilliant.
Than just asking for it. And then when I wanted to go deeper and I wanted to get their mailing address, wanted to get their home address, because a lot of people too, like I had some people on my list even for holiday cards, and all I had was their work address. And so I wanted to get their home address. So I was asking for home addresses. Well, that really doesn't go well. Like they really don't want to give you your home address. So I would do the same thing. I would say, let me get, here's my phone number. Let me get your phone number. I'd love to text you my contact card. It has my home address. So if we want to stay connected with holiday cards, what's yours? And so it was the same thing, like offering up my number, offering up my address before I'm asking them for that private information, which I felt that's good. It makes you a little bit vulnerable too. You know, you're sharing it before you're asking them for their stuff. So that's my goal, is adding quality contacts. Your goal could be creating your LinkedIn profile. It could definitely be adding people to it, you know, but this is what I was doing, or what I'm doing. So here's how I use it. So literally this is me logging in yesterday. So I use it, notifications and direct message. So once you have a LinkedIn profile, you're gonna get notifications just like you do on Facebook or Instagram of what people are doing. So the notifications for LinkedIn are about birthdays and how long someone's been in a company, because it's back to, it's career oriented. So like here are 2 messages where literally I had,
and I just messed something up.
I just go back 1 slide. We can do this. There you go. We're good. So here's literally what my notification screen looks like yesterday. So I saw that Natalie has a birthday, and then Melissa's been in a company for 3 years. So then I send a direct message. So I take that and then I go ahead and send a direct message. When I sent a direct message to Natalie, I realized I had asked her for her phone number before. So here's exactly what I told you. So I'm like, how are you? What's going on in your world right now? So I kind of think about Ford, but with LinkedIn and Ford being family, occupation, recreation, dreams, as far as creating conversation with someone. With LinkedIn, I go job first, because that's why they're on here. So occupation first is usually how I kind of lean in, and then I'll talk about other things. But I usually try to keep it really open, especially right now, because people are going through a lot of stuff, and I know Natalie's been laid off and she's looking for a job. So you kind of know like what's going on with that, because they'll say open for work if they are open for work. So that could mean someone may need to move. That could mean definitely I may know someone who could be a good fit for her, or may know a good job that could be a good fit from her from other people that I talk to. So I really do try to come at it from a contribution. But here's just full sharing, like what I said. So like a month ago, or actually April 13th, I was like, how are you? What's going on in your world? She's like, hey girl, I'm great. This is the person I know, right? So, and she says on here, open for work or whatever. I'm great. I took the voluntary package from Coke. So I know Coke does layoffs every year, every 2 years. It's really normal in that culture. So there's always somebody going through a layoff or someone's getting a change. You know, at the end of last year, so I took some time off, recently started looking for my next role. It's exciting and scary at the same time, but looking forward to finding the next adventure. So I use a lot of exclamation points. This is just how I talk. Like, that's awesome with 3 exclamation points. I'm so excited for you. What's your number? I would love to catch up sometime via phone. Mine is, and gave it. I'll text you my contact card. Literally yesterday, I go into LinkedIn and realize I never texted her my contact card. So I'm like, oh gosh. So I mean, you know, teaching this class and I'm, you know, still like I'm a person, you know, like I make mistakes, you know, right? So I was like, oh my gosh. So yesterday, she sent me her phone number. And so yesterday, like if we scrolled on down, we can't actually through here, but I sent her a happy birthday. I'm so sorry I didn't reach out. Here, I've just texted you my contact card. We are going to follow up. So this is truly what I do. So from here, I added her yesterday. I added her to my database in Command, and I'll follow up with it in Command, but I will still, and I'll follow up with her with text messages, but I still use this as one of the ways that I'm connected with her. Melissa Toland is someone who I don't have her phone number. So this is someone who yesterday, like, she had 3 years at Tractor Supply Company, and I wanted to congratulate her. We had talked like a few months ago, as you can see, like their dates. So it's January 30th, you know, so on. We had talked a few months ago, and I told her I'm in real estate, asked her what's going on with her, told her I'd keep in touch, and if she knows anyone in Tennessee or Georgia, because she's in Tennessee now, who's interested in buying a home or selling a home or investing, to please let me know. And I could get them connected. And then she said, absolutely. And then there are some people who I am friends with, like think of friendly. And so I will tell them I'm going to connect with you on Facebook. And that just gives me another way. So I think of it as someone who's, you know, like I know in Command, it's like, if you have like 100 or 99 on that profile, it means you have all this information. I think of it that way. If I have your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and your Instagram, and I know where you live, I know everything. And like, you know, because like you share different stuff on different platforms, and I can know if you're looking for a job, but you might not be talking about that on Facebook or Instagram, you know, but I know these different things going on. So it's interesting. Also in your LinkedIn profile, you do say where you live. So you'll say like, that's part of your profile. So you'll know that about the people and as they move. So like, Melissa and I were friends and worked together when we were in Atlanta. Now she's moved to Tennessee. So I knew she moved to Tennessee, but I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, you can gather information and then ask questions that are truly authentic questions without looking like you don't know anything. But anyway, so I here asked her, what's your phone number? Mine is same model. Congrats on your work, Renovation. I miss you. Something to know about LinkedIn. People are on it about once a month. Okay, they're not on it every day. Now, some people are. Some people I will send a message to, and they will message me right back. And then I send another message, they message me right back. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just sitting at LinkedIn? Like, what are you doing? But most of the time, most of the people I interact with are not on it that often. The average is once a month. So just to know, like you can send messages and you may not hear back from them for a month or two, and that's totally normal. It's not that they're not paying attention to you. And I'm sure like if you use Facebook or some other social medias, people are on them multiple times a day. And so it may feel like when I was getting started with LinkedIn, I was like, why aren't people messaging me back? It was because they're just not on it. So, but then they would start messaging me back and I would start getting really good quality information. So there's that. Trying to pay attention to time. Okay. So here's how I use it. I also post and do, well, direct messaging. So here's like one of my posts. It's kind of squished, but that was just to get it on here. So I do kind of a push and pull. I think of it as push and pull. So it's like I'm pushing out information and letting people know what's going on, or I'm pushing out messages to people and then I'm pulling back from them too, just trying to get it going back and forth. So whenever I post something, then I pay attention to who's reacted to it. These people who've reacted to it, for example,
this person, I do have her phone number. So I texted her and said, hey, I saw that you posted or you liked my post on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for supporting me. And it's just like that feeding back, like, thank you so much. And then I was like, what's going on with you? Because she had talked about getting into real estate. And then this person, I also sent him a text as well. This person I'm not connected to. He was the CEO of a company that I was doing business with at Coke. He's since retired. So I sent him a LinkedIn message and was like, how's retired life? I hope you're drinking a lot of wine and enjoying, you know? And he's messaged me back. I'm gonna look at it today. I'm very excited. This person, we used to work together, so I sent her a quick text as well. So it's cool because I'm like, okay, I know I'm connected in different ways to these people. And then these two people, this person, I don't know. And clearly they are very new to LinkedIn. They don't even have a picture. So I sent her a message because she has liked my post, but I don't know her. And the reason she can like my post is because she's friends with, one of them's friends with this person, one of them's friends with this person. Because this person I don't know either. So I sent a message to her. This is exactly what my message says. Thanks for liking my post. When I click on her, I know where she works. So like when I click on her, this is exactly my screen. So you get to see their name, where they work, where they live. Okay, so that's what this is where they live. And then how many connections. And then you also get to see how you would know this person. So it's like, okay, she knows Tanya. Here's Tanya. Okay, that's the connection there. So I can relate my message to her to say, thanks for liking my LinkedIn post. I worked for Coke for 15 years and spent the past years as a full-time real estate agent. I'd love to connect via LinkedIn because that's like, here's how I know you. And the reason that I say that is because you can start sending messages out to all kinds of people, but people do, like I get tons of messages from people. Sometimes I will accept them. Sometimes I am picky about them too, because you're just gonna get a whole bunch of people trying to sell you stuff. So having a relation, like a reason why you're connecting, back to making it authentic and making it something that's real, you're a real person and not just a bot sending out messages, like I think is a good thing. All right. Okay, so here's kind of the fun stuff. We're gonna go live. I don't know if this is gonna work, so I might need to stay safe. Oh wait, it looks like it's happening. Here's me. Okay. So you'll create a little picture for yourself and a little backdrop. I need to edit mine so it's not a face over a face, but you know. You're gonna have contact information. So like here's where I live, you know, right here. And like I said, you can get a lot of information just from somebody's contact. Like I could build a whole command profile from my contact without even contacting me, you know? But then you need to have a relationship. So,
well, and this gets back to, is it a contact or a lead? If it's not somebody that you're already or had, you know, in verbal communication with or text communication, it's not really a contact.
Right. And that was interesting because when I started doing this, then I would put in command whenever I messaged somebody, like, because you have information from them, you do know them, but how often are they responding back to LinkedIn or anything like that? And then I was like, let me really only add people who I have their phone number and they communicate back. They gave me their phone number, you know, because that's a personal thing that they gave. So here's, you know, you'll create a profile, it has lots of information. You'll end up having followers and all of that. It's kind of interesting when you look at your network. So like I have 1,100 connections, 5,000 contacts, and then people I follow. But what kind of led me to the path of like why this is really helpful for me, and I really encourage it for anybody who had a prior career to real estate, or even real estate, other cities, states, whatever. This connects you to a bunch of people who already know you, who maybe you're not Facebook friends with or Instagram friends with, maybe you're really not friends with them, but you know them, and
all of my people who I contact on here, they instantly already think of me as a professional. Like my friends who I'm talking to about listings or selling, it's like, yeah, Katie, what are you doing? Da, da, da. My friends, they have a good relationship with me, but it's different. Like everyone on LinkedIn, they already knew me as work Katie. So they already know I get shit done. They already know, like, I already have a standard, you know, like it's already high, you know, versus like my friendship Katie is like, let me hug you all the time, you know, but like my work Katie is, I get stuff done. And all my work people know that, you know, so that's, I think for me, that's been kind of nice is engaging with these people. And I just had my first closing with one of the people who I had reached out to on LinkedIn. We worked together 10 years ago. She was buying an investment property. She owns 4 properties. You know, this is before I was a real estate agent. And now she's like, you're my agent. I didn't do this right when I started. You know, because I was so focused on like Facebook and LinkedIn or Facebook and Instagram. And those aren't even as authentic me as I think like this fits me with real estate like really well. What questions do y'all have? Yes.
So I'm kind of antisocial. I have a Facebook account, but I never really go on it. But I never accept friend requests from other agents. I don't want. So what's the strategy here? What do you do? Do you let other agents, do you network with them in LinkedIn or no?
Yes. This network is professional network, right? That's its purpose. So if you want to connect with me, I don't search them out that much. I think I searched out Diamond and I connected with her, but I don't search out a ton of people that much. If you've asked me for a connection and you're an agent, I will always accept you. There was somebody who I was doing a deal with, somebody else who I was showing a property and she was the listing agent. She sent me a LinkedIn request right when she saw my showing time request. Then she sent me a LinkedIn and I was like, I leveled up. Instantly, I was like, she's more professional than everyone else.
There you go.
I mean, it's a perception, but it's also some reality. Like that's real. Like she's taking this to we're connected now. Let's communicate as peers now, you know, because that's what it is. That's its purpose. Its purpose isn't for you to get more friends or to talk about what you did last weekend. Nobody cares on LinkedIn. They just don't. And they don't care about, the other thing is, I mean, especially when things get highly political with other things, that's not the place for LinkedIn. Like, and people will even shun you on it. Like they'll say something if people are posting things like that, you know, because it's not where you are. But if you've got a job opening where you are, post it. If you've got like, if people are loving, they are loving different things that I'm posting, like pictures of stuff and tours. So like the same things that Jennifer was saying, like, you know, houses and prices, you know, because this is a business person looking at a business network page. And I don't pay for it. This is all the free stuff. So you can pay for it too.
So you would say you accept anybody, even if it's like a vendor, all vendors, even if you have like a group of vendors or people?
Last year I started accepting a bunch of people and now there's probably some people in this stuff right now. Like this guy, Allstate Opportunity. I haven't even opened his message. There'll be some people who send me, because I accepted people, and then they'll send me messages and lenders and they'll send me messages. And I'm not hating on that. They're doing their job. Like, okay. But I am more careful right now as to who I'll accept. I will accept all agents because I also want to see what you list. So I also want to see if you post, just like we're doing this, you know, it's like, here's what I've got coming up. I also want to see when other agents who I'm connected with have just listed something or something's going on. I mean, this is a feed that's helpful. I didn't even know. I was sharing with my husband last night. I'm doing a LinkedIn training tomorrow, and he's like, oh, are you going to share with them the email? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he forwards me the email that LinkedIn sends him every week that gives him the highlights. Right. And I'm on his highlight reel. And I didn't even know that because I don't read the highlight reels from LinkedIn. I go in and scroll it, you know, when I want to know. But I'm like right there in the subject line, like Katie Melcher, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So it's another way to get into people's email feeds and stuff like that too.
And how often are you posting?
I'm only posting once a week. That was my goal for this year. Yeah, I mean,
obviously, I think you post more, then it's better. But again, people aren't on LinkedIn like they are Facebook or Instagram.
So, and you're posting just listings, or do you ever post articles, or?
I do post other stuff. Here's the stuff I post. Okay, so we are at 11:35. I want to be sensitive to people's time. So feel free to leave. I will not be hurt.
Well, we just have an Ignite class that needs to start.
Oh, right now?
In this room.
Right
Yes.
now? Okay, well then we'll get out. So you can scroll down and see all the things that I posted on LinkedIn. Let me share.
You can X out of that.
Okay. Okay, I've got two things if I can share them real quick. Okay, I put together my results and highlight here results were views that I had on homes that I sold with a bunch of pictures. They got a lot more views, a lot more people interested. So like, you know, I had real estate activities, and people were like 400 people were interested, which is still more than were interested in my Facebook page, but still like, it's only 400. But then I had almost 3,000 views of a Coke anniversary post. It was very authentic. It was very real. It was like, it's been 2 years since I left. Here's what's going on. I'm so glad I did. I understand what you're going through when you're leaving. You know, so I think, you know, if you got back to that like previous life stuff, like connecting to those people, because then bless you, all these people were messaging on what I posted. And then we started a whole bunch of like exchanges.
Authentic.
I got my top 20 like KWAP sign and I had it in my yard and I took a picture with it and and people loved that. So yeah, but I've so far added 115 this year. My goal was 221, so I'm ahead of my goal right now. Had one closing. I really didn't expect to get very many closings yet, but that's great.
So did you post that post on LinkedIn? That slide that you just showed us? Did you post that on LinkedIn? Oh, it's just a summary of her.
No, this is my summary. This is like me tracking my own results.
Oh, I was wondering what the reviews were on that one.
Yeah.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a contact and a connection?
That's good. A connection is, it seems like it's two-way. A contact seems to be every time that I went into LinkedIn and let it add my contacts, it like added them from my phone.
Because you have so many more of one than the other.
Yes. So I really do need to dig into my contacts because there are a bunch of people there who I have their phone number, have their email, have information, but they're not a connection necessarily on LinkedIn and they're not even a contact in command, you know. Once you get over 500 connections in LinkedIn, it'll just say 500 plus. That's a key number. You want to get 500, and then people are like, oh, yeah, people are like, oh, you know, all these people. So here's what I would recommend for you to get started. First is creating a shareable contact. So it's literally, I have a contact in my phone that has my face, my email address, my phone number, my home address, my work address, all the things I want from someone, I'm including in my contacts.
Birthday.
Yes, my birthday's in there. My Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn contacts, everything is in there. And so this prepares you so that when you ask for somebody's phone number and when you text them your contacts, you already have your contacts and it has all your information in it. And then it's like, when you ask somebody for a phone number, you do that because you don't always, you know, I didn't always do that. If you have PieSync set up, it's gonna automatically load that to command, so it's easy.
PieSync?
Yeah,
I'll tell you
Stacy
that.
will tell you
Okay,
about
PieSync.
Second point would be just understanding what your starting point and goal is. I mean, maybe your starting point is you don't have LinkedIn and you want to create it, you know? So, but just, I mean, that's kind of simple planning stuff. But I would really log the date and your contacts in command and log your contacts in LinkedIn and just know those so then you know, like, I've spent some time on it and here's where it's grown to and I'm proud of that or whatever's going on. And then also create a plan for yourself. So my plan is just posting once a week. It's an achievable plan. If I post twice a week, great, but my goal is once a week. So that's it. And then really update your LinkedIn and just get started because it really is pretty simple and easy. You're connected to people who you already know. You're gonna find people you went to college with, people you went to high school with, people who grew up in the same town as you, people you worked with when you were 18. I mean, it's really helpful. But feel free to reach out to me directly with any questions.
Started late. Thank you so much. Wowzy.
Awesome job.
Thank you.